A beautiful New Year's evening here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. You're looking at the Queen's Place Emirates Centre, and we'll wish you an early Happy New Year, and we're glad that you're spending New Year's Eve with us here at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by former Canadian Mixed Doubles champion Kim Tuck. And Kim, we've got a great matchup tonight. The final two unbeaten teams in Pool B. It is Team Lisa Weigel, Team John Epping against Team Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. 2-3-0 teams. It should be a dandy, Kim.
Yeah, I'm expecting a pretty good matchup between these two. Top of the pool right now is up for grabs, so looking forward to see what they're going to bring tonight.
A reminder that there's two 8-team pools competing here. They play a round robin within their pools, and then the top three teams will advance to the playoffs. So this game definitely has implications. There's obviously an advantage to finishing first in your pool, and head-to-head is that first tiebreaker. And as mentioned, these two teams coming in with unbeaten records. Both of them played earlier today. Team Weigel and Epping, they beat Team Cotter and Cotter 10-8. And Team Peterman Gallant, they stole the extra end to beat Team Adams Robichaux 7-6 earlier today. So both coming in off wins, both with 3-0 records, and it will be Weigel and Epping with Hammer. Lisa Weigel from Ottawa, John Epping from Toronto, and the husband and wife team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant from Chestermere, Alberta. And Kim, having seen these two an awful lot over the years with your own partner, Wayne Tuck, you know what these teams are capable of.
I'd say we got a 14.
Yeah, both are very good teams. Both have been playing together for a lot of years, so the dynamic is really strong between the two of them. So it would be one to watch for to see who can come out on top.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both these teams have played together for quite some time, certainly 8 or 9 years together. Ironically, this is only believed to be the second time they've ever played each other. I asked John Epping before the game if he could remember playing them, and he drew a blank. The record books do show that they played each other at the 2016 Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship so long ago. But that is the only previous recorded meeting between these teams.
Wow, that's actually quite surprising because they both play quite a bit of mixed doubles. I do know that sometimes the four-person game takes up a bit of the time, makes it a little bit harder to play those events, but I know they both play quite a bit.
And if you're interested, it was Team Peterman and Gallant winning that game 7-6 at the 2016 Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship. And Kim, of course, I'll ask you, do you remember that event and where it was?
2016, I want to say Ledoux?
Oh, no. Saskatoon at the Nutana Club. That's okay.
Okay.
So many championships. I get it. So we are underway here, and as you'd expect, game on right away. Both these teams got a good sense of draw weight during the pregame practices. As a matter of fact, Weigel and Epping were pin to get the hammer here in the first end.
Yeah, both teams are actually, their LSD is pretty strong, so they're going to be looking for that W. Give them that slight advantage should come down to things being tied at the end of this.
Great ice conditions here at Queen's Place Emirates Centre, as you'd expect from Greg Iwasco and his team. It was a clear sunny day here in Liverpool as opposed to yesterday. It was very humid, very muggy, very rainy in the evening, and there was definitely a frost buildup, so we'll watch for that, but much drier conditions outside today. So I think some of the late end situations that we had with the ice last night, I don't think that'll be a factor tonight, but we'll keep watching that.
Yellow on the nose there, like T-line weight.
Now, Kim, for maybe some of the newcomers to mixed doubles curling, maybe you can explain a few things as we go along. For instance, that rock that showed in the overhead with the X on it. Can you explain what that's all about?
Yeah, so mixed doubles is pretty much offense geared by having two pre-positioned stones to start the end. So the X stone that you see at the back of the forefoot is pre-positioned there, and you'll see the guard at the top of the screen when it comes into play there. Those stones do stay there to start the end.
Talked about these teams being unbeaten. There's only one unbeaten in the other pool. They have gone through 4 games now in Pool A, and it is Rachel Holman and Brendan Botcher with a 4-0 record. They remained unbeaten with a big win earlier today over Laura Walker and Kirk Myers, who was also unbeaten going into that game. So just the one unbeaten team in Pool A, and at the conclusions of tonight, there will only be one unbeaten team in Pool B.
It's a pretty solid field. We've got the best of the best across the country, so regardless who comes out of this, Canada's going to be well represented in Italy.
Nose?
Yeah.
Can you get to nose?
Yeah.
And we will mention, of course, Kim, that you will have a little bit more of an advanced scouting report on things that have been taking place. Of course, your husband Wayne is coaching one of the teams here competing on the ice tonight. Riley Sandham and Brendan Craig from Guelph are in action. They won their game earlier today against Armstrong and Griffith, and they are taking on Taylor Reese Hansen and Corey Chester, a team from BC, this evening.
Hard! Okay.
Fuck.
So a bit unfortunate there. Obviously taking that center guard gives Lisa and John an opportunity to control what's happening right now.
Just tap again and leave our reds, leave our yellows in there, and if they want to bump something, let them.
And if Brett Gallant couldn't hold that stone straight, you know nobody on the planet could. One of the very best sweepers in the world.
Like nose on that. Yours?
Yeah, I've noticed there's some pretty decent finish as the rocks are coming into the house. So based on the weight that you're playing can have a huge impact on that. And of course, yes, if Brett can't hold it, nobody can.
75. Yep.
You see their setup there with John getting up and sweeping right away and Lisa calling line. Not sure that was what they were looking for there, Kim.
Yeah, no, I feel like they were looking to try to rearrange those angles a little bit on the yellows a little bit more. Definitely gives Jocelyn and Brett an opportunity to get another red into that forefoot and make things really congested.
Is that enough ice?
I took the T.
Just to not, I'm not trying to split the line, that's all.
It's an interesting comment there by Jocelyn saying I took the T. So one of the things in mixed doubles, obviously you don't always have a person holding the broom. So sometimes when you're playing events like this, the bumpers with the sponsors, you can pick different letters, symbols, things like that to shoot at as your target.
Good.
Line's good. Yep.
Jocelyn and Brett, they are former Canadian champions, just like yourself, Kim. They won in 2019
No, pretty good. Wait.
in Fredericton.
Stay down. Yeah, line. Is your last year, John?
Yeah.
Still figuring the ice out a little bit, so just, you know, how much it's actually finishing.
Okay.
It will change slightly from the draw to the button, just because of the fact that they're working that pass so much in practice to try to get the shortest distance in their LSD.
I'll suggest a smaller crowd tonight from what we've been seeing here in Liverpool. The crowds have been terrific, but there's New Year's Eve might have gotten in the way of attendance tonight, understandably, but the crowds have been terrific. Only, as of yesterday, only 20 seats were remaining for the gold medal game on Saturday, so it's really been going well here.
Yeah, that's amazing. The East Coast is one of my favorite places to play. My first Olympic trials was, of course, in Halifax back when Brad won. So yeah, it's always a fun place to play.
That shakes things up there in the middle, and it is still legal in Epping with Shot Rock at the back four.
Well, this is a pair of pants.
That's a new one, Kim.
Yeah, heard that one
Think so?
before. Just try to get it kind of in the middle between the two stones and they'll go. So just trying to rearrange things here a little bit with Jocelyn's rock here now.
So, yeah.
It's like here?
What way do you throw it?
Or do we hit this, Brett?
You could, but if you hit and roll right here, she just crosses it for maybe a few.
Yeah, like we'd have to roll big.
Which you could do.
What do you like?
I think I like this. We've played it a few times.
Okay, right here.
What weight are you throwing, Josh?
I need like back 4. Do you want a little less ice?
Back 4. Even back 8, I think, plays.
Okay,
Like there.
okay.
So what was the thought process there,
right?
Kim, between the hit and roll and the tap here?
Well, just trying to look to find a way to make Lisa's shot as hard as possible. In mixed doubles, it's not always what you make, but what you leave your opposition. So trying to get this probably back a little bit more, back button-ish, so that Lisa's shots only for maybe a 1 or 2. Trying to eliminate a multiple score by just leaving those rocks where they are right now.
With the understanding, of course, you can't take away everything.
Exactly.
Flynn Peterman.
I like
On
this
shot.
call.
Line's good.
She just played it, so
Weight's good. Back 4, back 8. Back 8.
Room. Curl, curl,
Back 4, back 8.
curl. Curl. Curl, curl.
Good shot.
yeah, it might not be too bad.
No, we're shot, so. Just go for 2.
Okay.
Really
There's
only.
not much there for
Sorry,
Lisa
go
to
ahead,
play
Kim.
any weight at those. Yeah, sorry, Al. There's not much there for Lisa to play any weight at those top 2 in the 4-foot. So just trying to make sure they've got their 1 now. So how can we go about getting our second point? Again, mixed doubles is take the points when you can get them. Try not to leave anything on the board.
To touch theirs. Yeah.
But I guess from Jocelyn and Brett's perspective, they took the big number off the board with that
Really
shot.
gotta get it out there. Like if you got-
Exactly. Yep.
It's a little slow over here.
Yeah, I think you're 415, but like with your nice ad.
Okay.
Out to the middle.
Okay, T-line.
Yeah. Nice rotation out there.
Yeah.
That was great communication there with Lisa and the hack, Kim.
Yeah, we're in business.
Yeah, that's one of the
Line's
things
fine.
that you'll hear between
Out
both
there.
these two teams. And
Always
because
stay-
there's only 2 of you out on the ice,
Do you need to come
you
off it?
have to do the work of what
A
a
little
4-person
heavy.
team would normally
Yeah,
do.
good.
So there's a
Yeah.
lot of really important
Yeah.
communication that needs to happen
past it,
post
we're past
shots,
it.
No,
pre
it's not
shots,
good.
and during shots.
Will that slow down in time? It will
Yeah.
for the 1, but it should move the other stone back, so it will just be a single point for Weagle and Epping. So it'll be Peterman and Gallant that will have Hammer down 1-0 when we return after this.
The Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
From cash spiels to grand slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Welcome back to Queen's Place Emera Center here in beautiful Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Glad you're spending your New Year's Eve with us. The final curling games of 2024. And Kim, great start to this game. Lots of rocks in play as you'd expect. And it is Team Weagle and Epping that get that single point.
Yeah, lots of offense right at the get-go. You'll see most of the rocks will be played around that 4-foot area until we happen to see a power play situation, but I expect this one to be definitely close all the way through, where you'll see some great shots, some setup shots, and hopefully some scores.
That's the thing about mixed doubles, though, isn't it? I mean, it was on paper, it should have been a very interesting and competitive game earlier today between the two unbeaten teams, Homan Botcher and Walker Myers. And suddenly it was a 4 in the first end, a 4 in the third end, and Homan Botcher ran away with it. So it can happen. An inch here, a shot there, and it can get out of hand.
Yeah, definitely mixed doubles. I like to refer to it as a bit of a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you have to just hang on until you get to the end of the game, but definitely big scores are possible. Even half of a miss or can put you in a really big trouble where the other team pops a big one on you. So it's definitely super important to try to get something out of every shot and make sure that you're leaving your opposition with limited opportunities.
And even those two shots to start this end, probably you'd describe them as half shots at best. The short.
Yeah, you never want to leave that rock at the top of the house there. Lisa won't be happy with that. And then Jocelyn being a little bit heavy at the back. Definitely open opportunity for both teams right now.
Kim, you'll know this team of Weagle and Epping very well as an Ontario player yourselves. Very respected players, obviously. Lots of competitive background in Ontario and across the country, in fact.
Yeah, and they both really took mixed doubles as one of the disciplines that they really enjoyed and put a lot of work into it and have put a lot of work into it. So it's nice to see them here.
I know in speaking with both of them after their win this morning, Lisa, obviously a two-time Olympian herself, she's won a world championship as a member of Team Homan, 4-player curling. But I know she said one of the big motivators for herself at this Canadian mixed doubles trials was to put a maple leaf on the back of John Epping, who has really poured his heart and soul into this game over the years, playing out of Toronto, and has come close, but still hasn't managed to represent Canada on the world stage.
Yeah, it's certainly an honor to wear that maple leaf. Lucky to have had done it. But there's a ton of really good curlers across this country that don't get the chance. So I can imagine that they're definitely looking to try to get those red and white jackets.
Good sweeping.
There's a nice
shot there by Jocelyn. Yeah.
Freeze in there.
Just really wanting to control the angles, and as top of the tee line, top 4 kind of area is really where you want to make sure you've got all your rocks in good spots and good angles. Make the opposition have to waste some shots by moving them.
John Epping. He'll be the first to tell you that he's an artist, not a technician with that delivery, but he sure makes a ton of shots with it.
Line's good right now.
Yeah, I think he's thrown a few rocks, so he's probably got it perfected for sure.
Little room. Gotta finish.
So just looking to probably freeze if they can, or a little bit of a tap on this one, get a little bit of separation. It's a good shot there. Well managed by
just
John.
Try to do you think you can get there? Is that stupid?
Wondering if the run back's better,
Okay.
but worried if I get on. Yeah, let's just freeze on half.
Okay.
Let's play the out.
So already starting to see that they're recognizing that they're in a little bit of trouble with the decision to potentially freeze, or they even looked at the run back. And
You're trying
run
to
back's
split
a
the
great option in mixed
You
doubles,
like
but it's
there?
also one of those shots that if you don't make it or don't make any noise in the house, then you're looking in a whole bunch of trouble. So it's one of those shots that it's kind of a last resorty type thing, more so than I like this call, play in the freeze, try to get some more rocks in play, try to set up the angles.
It was interesting on with
Line's
Colin
good.
Hodgson last night. One of his descriptions of the run back is it generally leads to more run backs and tougher run backs if you don't make the
Bit
first
of
one.
room.
Yeah.
Room.
Exactly. And with only 5 rocks per side,
Too much
right?
room.
It's like one of those things that it's a, tends to
gotta
be a
curl,
lower
Brett.
percentage shot. So do you really want to waste one of them if you don't happen to make it?
You heard Brett with the oh.
That little just side freeze, right,
just
gives
relax.
now
Just
John the
tap it.
opportunity to maybe access both those red stones. Again, not looking to potentially take things out of the house, but at least getting them out of the forefoot. And that not freezing to nose or getting to the bit of the inside gives John that opportunity. So half shot maybe there, and again, now you're opening up something for your opposition.
Waist close. Back 4, back 8.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back 4.
Hard. Here, let me in.
Maybe just a hair light on that one. But
You have to
taking
do
that
that?
guard again now
Do you hit the
brings
red?
the
Do you have to do that?
the play back for Brett and Jocelyn.
Well, if I do that, I think I'm moving our 1.
Yeah. And then you're sitting.
I'm coming off the back of this a lot.
I
Russ.
know. So do you come back here?
What are you saying? Think I could throw it hard at this.
Just do that.
I'm just wondering if the 1 even if it touches the 4 or not.
Right.
Because we might then sit this one and this one, and that's not so bad.
Right. Yeah, do you see that 4 moving enough?
They're so close together, I think so.
Okay, peel.
This is one of the reasons why you really need to
And you're
know your
trying to hit
angles
like an
and
inch?
doubles and how things will react when they're hitting the house, so that you know whether you're making a call that's going to be something that's going to give you space, or if you're making a call that's actually going to drag
I don't
back
think
on
this'll do
making in the
much,
worst
eh?
condition.
And a lot of it, Kim, still is guesswork
Yeah.
because the drag effect is sometimes pretty unpredictable.
Yeah, it can be for sure. And sometimes things look a little different than what they actually result in after
Right.
they're hit, and you kind of go, oh, I didn't see that.
Exactly.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Yep.
Hard.
No, not a shot.
That worked out pretty darn good.
Yep, I think they'll be happy with that.
Wow.
Just draw.
Definitely one of the advantages this team has is their ability to play those up weight shots. Something that our team, we tended to play more of the quiet, tap back, type freeze type game, but you'll see that Brett will go to that. And obviously, when you're making shots like that, it's definitely a nice weapon to have.
Just a routine triple to sit for with hammer.
Yeah. Now, they do have an opportunity, Lisa and John, to get another one in here, right? And maybe cut down some of that scoring. So this is more of a spacious house than what you would normally see in mixed doubles. So there is an opportunity to get around the yellow and maybe try to get something buried.
45
It's slicked up,
yeah,
eh?
it's slicked.
Important shot here, though, for Lisa Weigel.
Nice set here.
Her last shot here in this second end.
It's a good set.
Okay, it's a little heavy, but
Okay, whoa, that you don't need to.
looks a little tight.
Line's close. Line's close. It's curling now.
That's it.
Well,
It's not bad.
What do you like?
did it poke out enough the other side?
You could play that.
Or do they
Pretty
play,
thin.
yeah.
Yeah. same as yours.
Well, with the way
like,
that the ice is curling, I do feel like you have the opportunity to play down and cross the nose of that yellow with like a back line weight, but it would only be probably for 3. So looking to try to score the max of this, they are, you know, could potentially play the slash,
And if I
but I think that would just be for 4.
For 1.
So it might jam over there in the back 12.
It's thin.
Yeah. Is it only ever for?
It's for 1, maybe 2, so it's not worth a lot. I think
Or if I hit it real thin, is it for 3?
It's very tough to say.
Okay.
I think
Another thing to think about when you're making this decision is how many shots, we're only in the second end, how many shots has Jocelyn played, you know, with weight at that spot to be able to figure out how to play that slash. Whereas you know she's playing around both ways. And in practice that it's a little bit easier to put the broom down for, I think they called hack on this one, to be able to figure out where it's going to run as opposed to figuring out where do I play something for a normal weight hit in the second end.
And that's certainly not something you do in practice either.
Like a 13-2, is that what you're looking for?
No, definitely with the draw to the button being so important. I always feel like hammer isn't as important for the game itself in mixed doubles because of the way this end's set up, but I definitely know for, you know, your LSD at the end of the week, that's super important. So they're definitely probably not throwing any hits in practice.
Final shot here in this second end. Jocelyn Peterman, the chance to put a crooked number on the board.
Clean, yep.
Weight's good.
Yep.
Away.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes! Hard!
Trying to hold that line is Brett Gallant. He's by 1.
Okay.
And it will just be for a single. And the team of Weagle and Epping slip off the hook. It is just a single point for Peterman Gallant, a 1-1 tie, and it'll be Weagle and Epping with last rock. And we come back for the third end after this.
Don't forget the brooms. Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Line's good.
And we are back at Queen's Place Emera Center. It is New Year's Eve at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. Quick look at the other games on the ice. 4 games on the ice here at Queen's Place Emera Center. Over on sheet A, it is Taylor Reese-Hansen and Corey Chester. They take 2 in the second end, and they have a 2-1 lead in that game against a team you're familiar with, Kim, your husband Wayne, coaching the team of Riley Sandham and Brendan Craig from Guelph, Ontario. 2-1 for Reese-Hansen and Chester. It is Melissa Adams and Alex Robichaud from Fredericton. They have a 3-0 lead over Jalen Cotter and Jim Cotter from Vernon, British Columbia.
Still running.
That is into the third end. And in the other game
Okay, line's...
on the ice here tonight,
We're gonna bounce
it is Jennifer Armstrong and Tyrell Griffith. They have taken an early 4-0 lead over Colton Lott and Cadriana Lott, the reigning Canadian champions. 2 in the first and a steal of 2 in the second for Armstrong and Griffith. in that game. And of course, our game,
Tapping this?
it is a 1-1 tie. A reminder, you can get all the scores, all the standings, all the percentages, all the stats. You can get them all the time at curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard.
Yeah.
Underway here in the third end, and 1-1 tie, and I think Lisa Weigel and John Epping probably a little relieved to get off the hook in that last end, Kim.
Yeah, both teams actually have had some opportunities with just a bit of a miss, only getting their one. But yeah, very close to being a multiple score on the board.
Yes!
So I know these teams will be looking to get more than one foot up on the next two ends.
Hard, Brett. Really hard. Okay.
And I get the sense, oh sorry Kim, I was just going to say I get the sense, and
No,
maybe
go
you
ahead.
see the same thing, that these teams haven't quite grasped where to put the broom yet.
I was literally just going to say that I feel like they're just kind of struggling with a little bit of that finish. It seems to be a little bit more than they're expecting, maybe.
Yeah, freeze in the pocket. If it spills a bit, it's off a little bit. I think it's going to be pretty close now. Should be in the hunt.
So here you go. You've got John and Lisa again trying to look at rearranging some things in the forefoot to their advantage, get the angles so that it's something that they can potentially have a multiple score at the end of the end with Lisa's last.
You want to whip it?
Just. Are you trying to hit like half a rock low?
Well, I can't hit half low.
Just.
I'm no expert, Kim, but I think he's going to whip it and whip it good here.
Yeah, as soon as they get the opportunity now to hit, because of course in mixed doubles, the free guard zone is the whole house for the first 4 rocks of the end. So he's going to take this opportunity to try to get rid of some of those rocks that are sitting there kind of hanging around.
Curl, 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 curl. That one.
Pretty good result there. Didn't quite get that one out of the house, but they've got a nice little control happening at the top of the forefoot there. So John and Lisa will have to deal with that.
That one.
Board.
Okay.
To hear John mention board. So again, trying to rearrange things, not necessarily getting things out of the house, but just opening things up for them.
Whoa.
Solid.
Whoa.
So it is still Peterman Gallant sitting a pair, rock in hand. Weigel Epping do have
Just
hammer.
make
A
it
reminder
down.
of what's at stake here in Fredericton. I'm looking ahead. Here in Liverpool,
Okay.
the winner of this event, of course, will be Team Canada at the World Mixed Doubles Championship in late April at Fredericton, and that's where the Olympic qualifying will be determined, the countries that will compete in the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina.
Like that.
And
You're just
should
throwing
we
top
qualify, and we're in good shape, we are
Yeah, they're
5th in
coming
the
off
point
the
standings,
5,
and
right?
the top 7
So
will
just tapping a
qualify.
rock.
Yeah.
Should we qualify, the winner here will also represent us at the games in Milan Cortina. So lots of work to be done, but this is a significant step towards those 2026 Winter Olympics.
Line's good.
Yeah, I really like the decision to move this event up earlier to give the team that qualifies the ability or the opportunity to play at the Worlds, but also allow them to play on their schedule around peaking for the Olympics. And now with both the ability to play both 4-person and doubles, it gives that winning team a better chance to figure out their schedule to their their, to their advantage to get the best out of themselves when they hit Italy. So advantage right now, definitely for Peterman Gallant. They're controlling that 4-foot area. They've got good angles on their stones right now. So Lisa and John are going to be looking to try to, I'm not sure if he called the run back or if he's just playing a tap. Run back.
I think it's the run back.
Yeah.
Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Oh,
definitely one of the hardest shots in mixed doubles, I believe, just because of the fact that you don't have two sweepers, you're not throwing at a target room, and you have to call a line from behind. I definitely think run backs are one of the more difficult shots in this discipline.
The draw here. So am I better off going like here?
Maybe. I mean, she might try this, but I don't think she's getting that, so.
Or do I want to bite the line, top 12?
Because she can't play it this way. Yeah. Let's
Bite the line?
there.
So like here?
Yep.
So again, really thinking about where the best place is to put this stone in order to maximize their chances to score and minimize Lisa's opportunity to get to that button.
If you see between
Top 12
Lisa
is
Weigel
like
and John Epping at the back of the house, you
F15
see
14,
just
15,
under her head, that's Lainey Peters holding
What is
binoculars.
edge of that rock?
She is the coach of team
Yeah, I think
Peterman
yeah,
Gallant.
middle is
Lisa
edge of that
Weigel
rock,
and
which
John
I think
Epping
is
did
pretty-
not bring a
pretty
coach
good.
with them here.
Sorry, edge of the guard. And then
Oh,
Lainey
think
Peters,
just
of
off the
course,
guard.
one of the more accomplished players. There you see her.
yes.
Yeah, they'll be trying to scout the stones to see who's throwing what stones they've left out as their
little light.
stone they've chosen to potentially use should they need to switch
I got
out.
top 8.
But yeah, she'll be
They
looking
just
at
top
that,
12.
trying to get the most information as she can for
I got top
these
8.
guys as they move through the
Maybe
week.
more.
Whoa!
No, it's pretty good.
Whoa!
Biting the 8.
Gotta sit.
Great shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot there. They'll be happy with where that is. Definitely limits John and Lisa's scoring area and doesn't allow her any kind of angles on any doubles or anything up front. So she'll have to play the straight draw to the button. And that's a dicey draw with the way we've seen them finishing.
Drawing against 3, it looks like. And arguably the biggest shot of the game for Lisa Weigel so
I
far.
think you got to give me less.
Okay.
I think you want to give me 30 to 35, but you just got to give me the nice.
Yeah, you can't see much of that
down
button.
here.
Yeah.
I think just inside middle, like middle's not far off,
You were giving
right?
me kind of middle of that yellow rock. Does that make sense? The
Yeah.
back
So
line?
she'll be playing this really tight to that corner guard in order to
Yeah.
make sure they
If you
can
give me a 30
that rock
with a
top
nice
8.
ad, I can hold her down there.
Yeah, that's interesting,
White
Kim. A
would be
lot of
the
people
key
would look at that corner guard and think it's not in play for this shot, but it sure is, isn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to play it closer to that one than the one in the 8-foot. And again, depending on the weight she throws, if she's a bit light, they might lose it on the line, and if she's a bit heavy, they might not get there. So really important to be exactly T line.
Curl. You're okay. Yep. Just for line or for weight. Right there, John. Go, John.
What a shot
what a
and
great
what
shot.
a sweep.
Great shot.
And it is a single point for Team Weigel and Epping, and they will take a 2-1 lead into the 4th end when we come back after this.
The Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
Every venue strives to create the ultimate fan experience, one that leaves audiences cheering for more. DDG and LG Display are here to help you make that vision a reality. LG delivers unsurpassed imaging with its world-class technology and exceptional support. With versatile multi-sport display systems and proven revenue-generating opportunities, DDG ensures to deliver the best seat in the house. Contact DDG today, always delivering the best fan experience.
Welcome back to Queen's Place, Emera Center, as we head into the fourth end of this battle of unbeatens at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. And Kim, it's hard to put into words how tough that shot was. I mean, yeah, just draw to the button, but there's a lot of variables in that shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Lisa and John. Well managed all the way down the ice. Definitely really important score for them, and was really dependent on having to throw the exact same or exact perfect weight and then sweep it exactly the right way. If you sweep a little bit too late, you might crash the guard. Sweep a little early, you might crack the line and then end up missing the button altogether. So really great shot by Lisa and John.
I'd love you to bump it a little with the out turn.
Okay, so
just while we have a moment, we'll tell you just a quick reminder that tomorrow's games here at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials will be an hour later than they've been for the first couple days. Might have something to do with today being New Year's Eve and giving everybody an extra hour to recover. So tomorrow's games here. Well, not professionals, you know. It's a business trip for me, Kim, but I can't speak to all the fans. So tomorrow's games here on youtube.com/curlingcanada, thanks to our great friends at IKS Media. They will be at 1:30 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. Take that down, 1:30 p.m., 5 p.m., 8:30 p.m., all those times Atlantic, here at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. 3 draws tomorrow here on youtube.com/curlingcanada. In collaboration with our great friends at IKS Media. IKS Live, pardon me.
Couple feet over here.
Yeah. Haven't played this.
So really good start to this end already. This is a typical start to a mixed doubles end.
.409. I think it's a little
Close
light.
over here, right?
Close, but maybe a little light. Take a look. Little room. There it goes. It's really curling.
Yeah.
It just picked. Do you think you can tap that at all?
Yeah.
Now, I did hear John and Lisa talking about Lisa's
back
rock
8?
last end, at the start of the end, just that she might have a bit slower rock. So that could be impacting how that rock's finishing as well. So have to keep an eye out for that. Maybe they'll switch it out with the one that they've got at the back after this end.
Back 12.
Rim. Curl. Curl. Hard, Brett. Curl. Curl. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Hard, 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 hard.
Okay.
That's a really nice shot there.
Let's get to the nose.
Really see how that back 8, back 12 weight is such an important tool to have when you're playing mixed doubles.
How hard, John?
Yeah, it just opens the door in so many ways, doesn't it? You can manipulate it with the sweeping a little easier, obviously, and just keep so many more options on the table.
Yeah, your angles, you can see how those are setting up there, are really important. Now, John's going to be able to make a move on those, try to separate them. But just having that opportunity to force your opposition into having to make that shot gives you a bit of an advantage, because they're using one of their rocks to kind of move things, and then you might be able to come back down and behind. So really good start to that, just like that. Still advantage though, Peterman gone.
Just like bite 4. Johnny threw a 15-8. Thought he threw a lot more.
Kim, you've played in these
Quiet
trials
shot
before.
there.
You've played in these trials before, the mixed doubles trials as well as the 4-player trials. The best way to put it is it's different, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more high pressured. Every game is that much more important. If you happen to start off without that first W, things start to mount. So there's the pressure a little bit more on that. But yeah, it's just that the Olympics is just a different thing, right? It's the whole country watches it, not just curling fans, and it's every athlete's dream, every curler's dream to get to the Olympics and represent Canada. So these are definitely a different thing.
Bite 4, hard, hard. Hard, Brett.
Nowhere close. You need one of.
I wonder if that side might be just a hair slower.
Okay.
So you can see just that little bit of a miss now gives Lisa and John the opportunity to get a rock in behind, top button, get it in a good position where now Jocelyn and Brett will then have to start moving things again. And we're running out of rocks already, right? So we're late in the end here. So a good position stone by Lisa and John will make things a little bit more difficult for Brett and Jocelyn.
It's too hard. You just stay.
This one's a little bit heavy, so taking a little bit different line,
going,
not
John.
finishing quite yet.
Get it there. Yep. Hard, John.
Good shot.
Boy, did that finish in a hurry.
Yeah, and it really dug in. So I'm wondering if that side's just a hair slower.
Half a rock.
Because they were very concerned about how heavy it was at first, and then it just warped right in there.
For a little thinner.
Okay. Just like easy peel.
Sure.
Do you like that?
So Brett's going to take an opportunity here to make a run at this double.
I threw in here, remember?
Yep.
Breck Lance, final shot here in this 4th end.
Curl.
Hurt.
Still going to work out.
Okay.
Now, you and Colin were talking on the broadcast last night about how difficult it is to get up and sweep your own stone, let alone when you're throwing a draw, but when you're throwing a hit and a peel weight hit at that point, to get up and be able to sweep your own stone, it's just one of those things that until you actually play the game, you don't realize how difficult and how physically tiring that is to be doing, throughout the game and throughout the week.
And it's not really something that you... For 4-player curlers, they don't train that skill set at all. So
no, it's definitely not something that you would practice in a 4-person practice for sure. So it just shows how great athletically fit these players are and how agile they are to be able to do that.
Go.
Little heavy.
Okay, whoa then. Line's okay. Lock it on.
So looking to make this perfect freeze here.
That
Pretty good shot now,
okay.
so not much
Just
for
there.
Jocelyn other than trying to draw to the button there for her one.
it's something that we talked about last night, Kim, with Colin, just that mindset of mixed doubles, because there are more plot twists in an end than a Russian novel, it seems like sometimes, and you got to be able to withstand those and deal with it.
Do you think you can get that?
Yeah, I definitely feel that it's one of those things where at the end of the game, you're on, like, you have 22 minutes thinking time per team. You're basically on full, for that hour and a half. You don't really have as much time to rest between shots as you do in 4-person. So your brain's very tired by the end of it. But even just getting in the feel of the flow of how the game goes, and when's the appropriate time to be talking about shots, when and who's sweeping, and there's just so much more involved in how that flows than 4-person that it's still shots, like you're still making the same kind of shots you're making in 4-person, but the feel of the game is definitely different.
Shot.
And there it is. It will be a single point for Team Peterman-Gallant, and that will tie things up. Nothing but singles on the board so far. It's a 2-2 tie through 4 ends. The teams will take their 4th end break. We will too. We'll be back in a few minutes here to Queen's Place, Emera Center.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
The Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Every venue strives to create the ultimate fan experience, one that leaves audiences cheering for more. DDG and LG Display are here to help you make that vision a reality. LG delivers unsurpassed imaging with its world-class technology and exceptional support. With versatile multi-sport display systems and proven revenue-generating opportunities, DDG ensures to deliver the best seat in the house. Contact DDG today, always delivering the best fan experience.
Welcome back to Queen's Place Emera Center as we head into the second half of tonight's feature game at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. I'm Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined tonight by former Canadian Mixed Doubles champion Kim Tuck. And Kim, we're going to make you the coach and discuss what you might have told these teams during the fourth end break. Let's start with Team Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. If you were Lainey Peters, what might you have told them during the fourth end break?
Good throw.
Well, I think they've had a few really good setups. And of course, in the second end, Lisa made that great shot to try to get them out of trouble. But I feel like I would just try to tell them to keep doing what they're doing. Excuse me. I think there's a big end brewing for them. I would discuss with them the pass again, just to make sure that everything is how they see it in comparison to what I'm seeing from behind the board. But I think they can just keep doing what they're doing. You know, you might see a big end pop up for them soon.
This is going to curl.
And if you were coaching Team Weagle Epping, what might you have said to them?
It's close, John.
So I think I might have a little bit of a discussion in regards to how we feel about Lisa's first stone. Do we think it's curling more? Do we think it's a little bit heavier? Is it just the pass again? Because there's only two of us out there. You've got to do a lot more work than what you do in four-person in terms of reading the ice and pass. So I just maybe reiterate kind of what do they think they're seeing, and is it the same both ways? I would really try to get them to focus a little bit more on making sure that that first shot's made and getting set up right from the get-go, just to put the pressure really on Jocelyn and Brett. And then let's just finish off the ends. So both teams, I feel like there's something brewing. This is kind of a tight game. Don't normally see this many wins on a mixed doubles board, but there's been some great shots made, so I'm excited to see how the second half turns out.
Looking at the percentages over the first half of the game, Team Epping and Weagle, Team Weagle Epping, they're 90% through four ends. John at 92%, Lisa at 88. Peterman Gallant, they're at 77%, Jocelyn at 72, Brett at 81. So the percentages say that Weagle Epping are out-curling Peterman Gallant, but certainly in terms of opportunities, you'd have to suggest that Peterman Gallant have had the better opportunities to put a crooked number on the scoreboard.
Yeah, definitely the percentages in a mixed doubles game trend a little differently than you would see in four-person. Definitely for the first and last thrower, a lot of times their shots are fours or zeros, so their stats could be a little bit lower. But 90% for John in the middle of the throwing order is pretty good.
Yeah. Whoa.
Is that going to get by? It will not.
Just struggling a little bit with maybe where they put the broom in terms of trying to make that. They've ticked on a few guards already this game.
Splitting's pretty good. We guard that, it's good too.
So like there?
2/3.
So definitely advantage now for Gallant and Peterman. Really like how Brett makes sure that he's through his delivery, he's put his release on, and then the stone you can see going away from his hand a little bit, and then he's getting up. So not rushing to try to get up into that sweeping position. Really important for mixed doubles players to make sure they're finishing their delivery before they get up.
Turn. Okay, you got it.
As noted, both of these teams coming in with 3-0 records, the last two unbeaten teams in their pool. And only 3 teams from each pool, each 8-team pool, will advance to the playoffs.
So we've seen a run back here from John, trying to make some space, get that rock off the back of the forefoot.
You like the same broom, Brett?
I think the same ice is great.
So he'll be pretty disappointed with that. I mean, he did get rid of the guard, but he didn't make any noise in the house, didn't touch that rock in the top button at all. So again, now gives Peterman and Gallant an opportunity to put that guard back up.
I know. Just a sliver less.
And the ends go by so fast.
I still
I mean,
think
we're
you're
already at
gonna
the end of the
wanna
end here,
curl.
and
Weight's good.
Jocelyn and Brett are
Still
sitting
curl.
2. And again, the real estate for Lisa's going to be a little bit tight
Line's
on her
okay. Line's
last.
good. Line's good. Nice throw.
I think you see John play it again.
We know this line.
Yeah.
Unless he's trying to play the little inside nose tap, which he could be with the out turn.
I was wondering about that.
Just try to get thing in the back. Yeah, just try to push that rock into the back button area, give, you know, a bit of a wall for them to have their shooter sitting at, so making it a little bit more difficult for Jocelyn to remove.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that's
Coming
what they're
through
playing.
the port.
410.
Lots of rotation on that stone.
Are you heavy?
Can you talk to
Hanging.
me?
It's really got to curl, John. You got to curl!
I
Just
touched that when they both made contact.
I thought it was going farther that
Yeah,
way,
it's up to you.
but
Just, I touched that as it made contact, right when they made contact together.
like I
So
thought
you
it was
can take
going
the time
farther
also.
this way,
Can you
but
stop the time? If you want. Or there, whatever.
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
up
know.
to
Like,
you.
if you just ticked it, I think that's.
What do you like? Same thing, just guard
interesting
the
situation there, Kim. The rule being that if a rock is touched, the running stone,
Well, yeah, we might. Yeah.
then
Here?
the non-offending team has the right to
You like
remove
that?
it from play
I don't know if we
or
need quite that much.
place it in
Yeah,
the
that's
spot
close.
where they figure it would have ended up, and that was the option that Peterman and Gallant chose.
Yeah, and it's hard to mix doubles too because there's so many rocks in the house, and you're really watching the line and what's happening, and sometimes
So
it's not,
halfway,
you know, the easiest to be like, okay, what was going to happen with that?
Yeah.
So you can
Middle of
see
that
John
yellow rock
saying
looked
he
like
hit
too
the
much
rock
to you?
just right there
With
as
his-
he was
yeah.
ticking it.
inside edge of that
Yeah,
rock.
with his broom.
Okay.
So he, you know, said to them, this is what happened, and then it's up to Brett and Jocelyn to decide what they want to do with it.
Which, for the record, not my favorite rules. I don't like the non-offending team being put in the position of having to make that decision, for the record, but
Yeah, yeah, it can be hard, right?
Just short.
Just gotta sit.
So just trying to cap this off here. Try to get down to that yellow a little bit so that it's not something that there's no run back or anything like that, but just making that draw a little bit harder.
I think that's the easiest shot.
okay.
Like, so I think what you're trying to do is just, yeah.
Are we second?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
You're just trying to get to the nose of this. Like it's a back 4 shot.
Okay.
I think that's your line.
It's like the smallest port. John's like, oh, it's just back 4.
well, we've seen this before, haven't we? Lisa had to make a
Yeah.
very similar shot in the third end, and what do you know? She did. So
Yeah, so they're playing this with back 4. One of the reasons,
Yeah,
obviously,
try to
a
get
little
to the
bit more
nose and get
weight
one's great.
allows them to maneuver
Get
through the port a
hole,
little bit
you're pretty
easier.
good.
Okay. You can do that.
Try to get as much to that button as they can. At the very worst, if they give up 1, that's okay. They just want to make sure they don't give up 2.
Yeah, like
And we're getting to that
yeah,
scenario where you maybe have the
Just look it up.
discussion,
I
is
think
it
we
not a bad thing to give up the 1 here and
Just
have a
inside edge
power
with a nice-
play
nice throw. I think
and
I
2
can go
hammers
now.
coming home?
Yeah, the power play throws a bit of a strategic thought in there about, you know, do we want to score in this situation or do we want to give them their 1 and then throw our power play at them?
What do you think?
Line's close. Line's close.
Okay.
How's the weight?
Good.
Line's close. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard, John. Hard. Get it by.
Will it get by? It will not. And I think, Kim, that will be a steal of 2 for Peterman and Gallant. Well, that is a game changer. And it will be Peterman Gallant with a 4-2 lead. Epping and Weagle will have last rock when we come back for the 6th end after this.
Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Welcome back to Queen's Place Emirates Center, and Kim Tuck, as you suggested, there will be a power play called for by Team Weagle and Epping here in this sixth end after giving up that steal of 2 to Team Peterman Gallant.
Weight looks good, top 4.
Yeah, I feel like they probably want to change up the momentum a little bit here. And in this game so far, a 2 is a pretty big score since we've only seen 1s go up on the board. So by moving that play to the outside of the sheet, you might get a little bit more misses from the team you're playing, just because of the fact that we don't play out on the outside of the sheets in mixed doubles very often.
Kim will take a quick look at the other scores on the ice. It is Team Reese Hansen and Chester. They are in a 3-3 tie with Team Sandham Craig. It is Sandham Craig with Hammer playing in the sixth end. Cotter and Cotter against Adams Robichaud. It is Adams Robichaud into a 4-2 lead now over Cotter and Cotter. It is Cotter. The Cotters have Hammer in the sixth end. In the other game, and wow, this is a big upset brewing as Team Armstrong and Griffith looking for their second win in 3 games. They are 1-2, but they're playing against the reigning Canadian champions, Team Lot and Lot from Gimli, Manitoba. And it is Armstrong and Griffith with a 7-1 lead through 5 ends, pardon me. It is the Lots have Hammer in the sixth end. A reminder, all the scores all the time, curling.ca/scoreboard.
So Lisa ticking on that corner guard again, coming up a bit late. Not sure if they've talked about those stones or not, but definitely something maybe up for discussion after the game if they haven't switched it out.
Line's not bad. Does have to curl.
Weight's good, top 8.
Curl. Good spot.
So good start for Peterman Gallant in defending against this power play. It's one of the harder things to do in mixed doubles. So already you can see John and Lisa are in a bit of trouble here.
Nose the yellow and see if you stay on.
Okay.
And it's interesting, Kim, in speaking with Scott Pfeiffer, the national program manager and national coach for mixed doubles for Curling Canada, the analytics are out there. There's quite a database of games that have been analyzed by Renee Sonnenberg and her analytics team about use of the power play, and it's still one of the most talked about strategies in mixed doubles curling: when to use it, why to use it, how to use it. And nobody's come up with the absolute definitive answer.
Yeah, mixed doubles is so reactive. I always say that it's a reactive strategy. So sometimes you can't plan things out. You kind of have to call based on what's happening in front of you. So it sometimes makes it hard to rely on kind of analytics and sort of like when should you do things. And we always use the power play. It was always more of a gut feeling. You know, we need to change momentum. Things isn't working. Or if we get ahead, we're going to use it as in a defensive mode. Or if, you know, we kind of want to maybe try to put the game away, then you're going to go a little more offense at it. So it does have different views and different usages. And I think it might be hard to nail it down being like, oh, you want to use the power play at this time.
That said, in speaking with Scott and Renee, there are certainly trends out there that indicate, you know, more optimum times to use it. Some of them would seem to be pretty obvious, but it's going to be a very interesting discussion going forward as the database of games grows.
Yeah, now that we've got more coverage of it and we've seen more games and different things that are happening in different series out there and stuff like that that are building that database, you'll start to see, things starting to emerge that teams will pick up on and start to use. I know using it in the sixth end was always something that kind of was floating around for a while, like, oh, you need to use it in the sixth end. So, there's just different views and different thought processes on when and how to go about using it. We're old school. We always did the fly by the seat of our pants.
Which I believe to be
Things aren't feeling
very
good,
valid.
So let's power play.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. But this game, Kim, as you've said, is such a game of momentum swings, and you can't help but feel that 2 steal certainly changed the tide of this game.
Yep.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I've always said that mixed doubles is one of the hardest games to play with a lead. Like, I always would rather be tied or a bit behind. Once you build a bit of a lead, it's a little bit tougher to kind of hang on to, but definitely with the way our game's been going, that 2 is going to shine pretty big, and if John and Lisa can score a couple here, that will really help change things back and forth, and then you'll probably see a power play from Brett and Jocelyn in the next end.
Easy early. Line's good.
Weight's pretty good, I think.
Make sure. Line's good. Hard.
Light.
Hard.
Not there, Josh.
So you can see how like one shot can make such a difference in how that end turns around. They make that freeze in there, and John and Lisa are going to be hard pressed to score 1, but now you have the opportunity to potentially get rid of that red one and sit on a multiple with 1 shot left for Jocelyn and Brett.
You got it.
Big shot here for John Epping. Try and come back from giving up that 2 steal.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
And there it is.
Good shot.
Straight back raise, and suddenly Weagle Epping are sitting 4 with hammer.
Maybe like tier with hack.
Yeah, and you can see how he didn't play that with big weight, right? Like that was just kind of like a controlled, nice weight shot there to be able to make sure that his shooter stuck around and the rock that he hit into the one in the red stuck around. And, it's just one of those tools that you see in mixed doubles that's so important to be able to have that in your toolbox.
So what's the shot here?
I didn't see what they call, but I'm thinking maybe a little hit and roll and behind.
I think that is.
Like 2 broom heads less than that. I showed you just on
just
the
kind of like maybe like a back hack, maybe hack to board, try to hit and roll behind.
You got a catcher there too, so.
12-5.
It's really curling here when he gets to the line, right?
You like 12 then?
I like 12-2.
Okay.
Nail the weight, nail the line, I'll manage it for you.
I never had that. I never had that sweeper that said, hey. I always had to be that sweeper.
Wayne, don't watch this game. That's all I can say.
Oh, he would agree. It was so nice last year. I played with Wes Bourget for a bit. Man, I made some shots with him sweeping.
Beauty.
The hit and the roll.
Good shot. Yep.
Wow.
That'll get them out of trouble, that's for sure.
Get this scrub here from
just well managed.
Brett. Really got that moving at the end, and that made all the difference to get that roll.
Yeah, and credit to Jocelyn for throwing the weight that they talked about, right? Because if you up that a little bit, then he probably can't get that over as much. It doesn't roll as much, and then John and Lisa come down and hit it for multiples. So all credit to both sweeping and thrower on that one.
And you could see the frustration in John Epping as he put the broom down to call the draw there. That was a big opportunity. That's a couple times they've
it's
had
got to be outside it for sure.
chances taken away.
That nice release.
Yeah, nice release.
Yeah, you're definitely, when you
Speedily
call the
close.
power play, you're definitely looking to score when you're using it in an offensive situation. You know, you're definitely looking to score a couple. So only being able to score one definitely is defeating for sure when it comes to that point.
Felt close, John.
But important to make this shot.
Line will be good. Yep, get it there.
John's going to have to work on this.
Yeah, it looks a bit light.
One red.
And it will come up light, and it will be another steal for Peterman Gallant. They will take a 5-2 lead through 6 ends, and we'll be back for the 7th end right after this.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Every venue strives to create the ultimate fan experience, one that leaves audiences cheering for more. DDG and LG Display are here to help you make that vision a reality. LG delivers unsurpassed imaging with its world-class technology and exceptional support. With versatile multi-sport display systems and proven revenue-generating opportunities, DDG ensures to deliver the best seat in the house. Contact DDG today, always delivering the best fan experience.
Weight's good.
Welcome back to Queen's Place Emirates Center as we head into the 7th end of tonight's New Year's Eve feature game at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. And it is another steal for Peterman Gallant. They take a 5-2 lead. And Kim, you got to think this is an important end to get a crooked number for Weagle and Epping. They need 2 at least here with Hammer in this 7th end.
Yeah, they're going to want to make sure that they get this end set up really well. They definitely want to score here if they can, because if they don't, then obviously Peterman Gallant have the opportunity to get a few more points on the board. So you definitely want to make sure you're scoring here.
Gotta finish.
And even if they do score, we both know that that power play will come out of the back pocket of Peterman Gallant for that 8th end.
Freeze, the end's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get that?
No.
You had one job.
I know there's so many jobs in mixed doubles, so many jobs. I feel for her.
Wayne was very understanding though, right?
Yeah, he was. He's usually pretty good with the stopwatch. The odd time I'd be like, he'd be sweeping and trying to get it in his pocket, and I'm like, just sweep. So really wanting to get to as much of the face of this one as they can.
That what?
Just a little.
Speaking of Wayne, you'll be happy to know, although I suspect you were tracking the scores online anyways, but Sandham and Craig have taken 2 in the 6th end. They now have a 5-3 lead over Reese Hansen and Chester.
Yeah, they're a good little team, actually. We, playing on the Ontario Tour here, have seen them take a love to mixed doubles and really work hard at it over the years. So good to see all their hard work pay off, and nice to see them here.
A couple good young teams from Southern Ontario in this event. That Zhang Pietrangelo team that is playing here that will then go on to represent Canada at the FISU World University Games
Line's close. Yep.
early next month in Italy. That's a good, solid young team as well.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing them a couple of times actually, and they are a very good young team.
Are you trying to just like tap this a little?
I like that, yeah.
So far, Lisa and John are in a little bit of control here of what's going on the forefoot, but you're going to see Brett come down and try and rearrange some of these things here. He's going to want to, even though he's shot, he's going to want to try to remove that back red one off that yellows to make room to be able to potentially remove that yellow eventually. He may even just corner freeze to that top yellow one and just be happy with being like, okay, fine, you guys can have your one. The goal here for them will be to not, make sure they don't give up more than 2.
Top 4.
Room. Line's good. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, curl. Whoa.
As those red rocks build up in that forefoot, it's getting tougher and tougher for Weigel and Epping to figure out a way to score more than 1 here.
Yeah, and the angles are a little bit in red's advantage right now with that rock that they just delivered. They should be able to actually nose that and potentially lose that back, which will then make space for them. But we'll see where John goes with this one. It's not the greatest angles in terms of trying to, remove that back red one.
Good team, back 4. Yep.
The pressure is definitely on Lisa and John to be more precise this end for sure.
What are you seeing?
Might see them just guard this, actually. There's not much they have on the other side.
If you hit this, what you can see of that, both yellows go.
This one's not going, but it might be a good shot.
Is that necessary? Like, what are you seeing?
I'm not loving the angles right now. Like,
I know. We're shot. Like, do you guard?
but he can sit 2 playing this one.
Yeah. Just sliver that.
If I do that though, he might be. Yeah, let's play it.
Okay, I was kind of hoping he would play this, Kim.
Guard. Yes, well, because it's fun, right?
Right?
Yeah. Do you like that, Bruno?
Yeah.
I'm just worried a little bit that in order for him to play this, his shooter's going to roll. If the yellow that he's hitting rolls off into the back 4, he might leave a bit of a pocket for John and Lisa to come down to, which might set up a score for 2, whereas right now they might be a little bit more hard-pressed to score 2.
It's going to touch anything. It will.
Get out of there.
Not sure.
Yeah, right?
Some of those opportunities where it's like, do you, like, you just want to be careful you're not making something for your opposition, right?
I mean, that red shot stone is not going anywhere real quick, so...
No, not at all.
Yeah.
How hard are you throwing it?
Board.
Okay.
So John's just going to try to, like, get that red that's biting the top of the button back and maybe try to push the other one. It's not going anywhere, but maybe just trying to make a little bit of room.
Whoa. No.
And then it'll be up to Lisa to navigate.
So it is Peterman Gallant sitting 2.
Yeah.
T-line?
Yeah.
Do you like
So
here?
play the tap.
They just seem to be straighter than when
And the
I
nice
throw my
thing for
first
John and
one
Lisa is
back.
they do have access
Do you
to that
agree?
yellow rock top 8.
Jay, it's kinda
So
where you were
depending on
taken?
how
Or
Jocelyn's
is that
tap
not quite
goes,
enough?
Seeing you hitting half a
they
rock
might
high,
be
just
able to
moving it a
use
touch.
it.
So
If
I-
she makes this
behind that
straight
yellow.
back
I need
onto
more
the
ice
T line,
back then. Like,
John and Lisa are going to have a hard time scoring.
quarter into the 12?
T-line weight right here.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. 14.4, 14.5.
Okay. Go at again.
I want to, but
You
tell
can
me
go,
I'm
you
lying.
can go.
Pretty
Room,
good.
room.
I'd like to.
You can.
This one looking a little light.
Okay. It's good.
So I think they should be able to get to that top
see if you can get
yellow.
by
It
and
does
make
curl
this.
hard.
Okay.
Yep.
It's close. Control.
Are they thinking they can move both of those red stones enough to score 2 here?
It sounds like it. They're playing control, but I'm not sure. I mean, the guard's
As
long
close to the
enough.
guard
It
as
might
you
be
can.
get by.
Little squeaky.
The biggest thing here is you want to make sure you score. So I might be more inclined to play this with a little bit quieter weight, maybe just playing the tap for one, but I feel like they feel 2 super important, so that's why they're going hard for this one. Guard's high enough, so they might be able to get to it. Nice control weight. You heard John say you got to play it as close to the guard as you can.
This Weagle's final shot in this 7th end.
Yep, yep, yep. Yep.
Looking at 2.
Hard, John. Hard.
Oh,
Almost. It over curled.
that works. Yeah, she went through that guard.
That was a great sweep by John Epping, and it does produce a single point. But it will be Peterman and Gallant with a 2-point lead and the last rock, and undoubtedly a power play when we come back after this.
The Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Welcome back for the 8th and I will always say potentially final end of tonight's feature game here at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials, the final curling games of the year 2024. And Kim is a 2-point lead for Peterman Gallant. They have hammer. They have used the power play. This is a steep hill to climb now for Team Weagle and Epping.
Yeah, so basically, Peterman Gallant using the power play, trying to keep that center scoring area as open as possible, and Lisa are going to be trying to clog up that scoring area and hopefully try to put a steal on the board. So we'll see here they're looking to play the freeze. Want to make sure that they're shot after this if they can, but it looks like it's over curling.
A little more than you normally take.
So double guard really for Peterman Gallant, and you're going to see them split the house.
I don't think so. I think it's good.
Quick reminder that there will be 3 more games broadcast live here on youtube.com/Curling Canada from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. Our friends at IKS Live and us will be working tomorrow. It's New Year's Day, but a reminder that the games will be an hour later than they've been today and yesterday. So live games tomorrow at 1:30 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. All those times are Atlantic, 1:30, 5, and 8:30 p.m. here on youtube.com/Curling Canada from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials.
Yeah, so I get to close out 2024 commentating and open 2025 commentating tomorrow
Lucky
at
you.
1:30.
And guys in the truck at IKS Live, a reminder, curfew tonight is early. Don't want you guys carousing tonight.
You're there. Good, John.
So a nice shot here by Jean.
This is shot.
Just peel the guard.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to see this is going to be more similar to your 4-person curling, where it's just a matter of trying to get rid of the guards, lessen the opportunities for leaving something for John and Lisa to hide around.
And Brett certainly has this shot in his bag.
Curl?
Yes, I would say.
Watch mine, watch mine.
Oy. So would have liked to leave that rock in the house. So probably not super thrilled with taking it out, but nevertheless the guard is gone.
Because it was shot rock, and now it is Weagle and Epping that have shot rock.
Mm-hmm.
They need, let's face it, probably at 2 more misses
Yes.
to steal 2 here, but they got 1.
And again, getting close to the back end of this end already, so we're only down to a couple rocks left after this.
First final score on the board, by the way, it is Adams Robichaud. They do defeat the Cotters from Vernon. It is Adams Robichaud with a 7-3 win.
And that's another team that's really been at mixed doubles for a long time. Both Cotter and Adams Robichaud. Played both those teams quite a bit over my mixed doubles career.
That is the first win for Adams Robichaud.
A pretty straightforward end here for Jocelyn and Brett.
Time out, please.
John and Lisa going to take a timeout.
If I throw the guard,
Yeah.
they go over here. What do you do?
You want to sit 3 now?
Yeah, but then he's going to make
Brad.
a double.
Yeah.
The other hope would be that I try to draw into here.
Okay.
Back into here.
Okay.
And then maybe he jams that. And if he ever jams it, then it's
Okay.
3. If I freeze on it, I make it just an easy blow up for him. So let's try and wrap a
So
little
that's
bit
one of the
around.
things, right? You're thinking about you're
See
playing
if we
against
get
Brad.
lucky
He's
on
one of the
the
best hitters. So
double.
where do you leave it to not just leave him an easy blast? Again, like you said, we got to deal 2 here. So I like John's call, trying to go around that
I'm gonna go a
stagger.
little wider and take it at the
See if they
corner.
can sit second shot or third at the worst. You can see the look on Lisa's face. You know, you're running out of rocks here very quickly.
402.
What'd you think?
402. You're
Okay.
close.
I thought I'd give a good extension
Yeah,
for you.
you did. It looks like it's running, John. Starting to go now. Line's getting good. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Let's get that as back as far as he can.
Here, grab another one. I'm out of juice.
Just roll to here. How
Yeah,
hard do
it's
you
a
throw
lot
it?
of sweeping, especially if you've got the male or the female doing most of the sweeping.
10-5?
It's a fast-paced, lots of sweeping because you're playing those quieter shots. So a lot of times line is always involved in the shot.
I like the other two.
With
So it's
the-
lots of sweeping.
With the added, physical exertion of throwing and then getting up to sweep. That's
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
all
you don't
adds
see
up.
John get straight up to sweep, but he is taking over from Lisa like after that first quarter down the sheet. So yeah.
Clean.
Curl.
Curl. Curl. You're on the nose. Hard. Hard. Okay.
So looks like they'll be able to play a pair of pants or crotch double, however you want to say that,
Try and just
and
play
get rid
this.
of those two reds and
But
maybe
even if you
bump their
roll on
shooter
top this
up
way,
and
so
around.
Let's throw, let's just throw like in a firm normal.
Okay.
If you try and hit whisker this, if you roll high onto that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, I like the end, right there.
Okay.
She makes this shot, they will be sitting 3, and that's the best position they could have asked to be in at that point in the game.
You're trying to hit
Yeah,
a
I
whisker
believe
the
so.
yellow.
With the way this end's gone, I think, being
Just
sitting
look
3
like
on their
the
last is
same quarter of it,
the
okay?
best that they could have asked for. Just with
Try
how
firm.
the end
Throw
kind of
firm.
developed.
You can
Because
use
even
a
if you-
little bit on the rock.
I think right in the middle of them. Right, do you know what I mean? Like right in the middle of the space between.
What do
Yeah,
I
45.
have? Okay.
Space between them.
That's where I'm aiming.
Yeah, firm.
Firm.
You're firm. Try and hit a little bit of the yellow.
Final shot here for Lisa Weigel.
Okay.
Whoa, early. Whoa, no.
Close.
That's a pretty great effort.
Yeah. I almost looked like they didn't think that that other one was gonna go out.
But it
So
will
key
be.
here is just. Sorry, go ahead, Al.
Well, it's going to be a nose hit for the win, but what's the key here?
Yeah, just make sure that one goes away, right? If you
Timeout.
happen to give up 2, you go to an extra and you have hammer. So object 1 is to make sure that rock goes away and then, or just sit for second
Timeout.
shot.
They will call a timeout just to make sure that Jocelyn has enough time to collect her nerves and settle herself down to throw this shot for the win.
5, do you like?
Yeah, 11 and a quarter. You got it.
Go to light.
A little heavy.
Okay. Just clean. Whoa.
10 and a half.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Nicely thrown.
And just like that, and it will be a single point and a 6-3 victory for Team Peterman Gallant over Team Weigel Epping. So that wraps things up here on Tuesday night at the 2025 Canadian Mixed Doubles Trials. I get to say we see you next year, but we'll just see you tomorrow. We'll be back with live coverage here from the trials at 1:30 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. right here on youtube.com/Curling Canada, produced by IKS Live. Kim, what a pleasure it was having you on the air tonight. We hope everybody has a safe and happy New Year's Eve, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thanks, Al. Happy New Year, everyone.